is YouTube. Hello, hello, and good morning, Facebook. What's up, YouTube? How we doing out there? Thank you for joining me. As always, it's nice to see you. Connecticut Medical Marijuana Critic. Compound Concentrates and Coffee. We are here. We are up. We're on the air. Yeah, it's your SunDaze edition. How you doing out there? Don't mind me as I put my monitors in. All right. Video looks good on Facebook, I have to say. That's nice and clear. YouTubers, you're looking good as well. All right. Okay, to me, Facebook sounded good. Cool, thank you. What's up, Nate? What's up, Nate? Hey, Buffalo Bills, come on now. Number one in the AFC East. Number one right now, kicking it. I mean, I've been telling people, watch out. They've been showing it though. They've been putting in the work. They've been doing their diligence. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. If you can't trash talk in football, are you really a true fan? There we go. That was our theme song here. That's Bio Trek by Austin Woodward and Shane Roberts. I am the Connecticut Medical Marijuana Critic. You're chilling out on Compound Concentrates and Coffee Radio. Our online show. Yeah, we're an online media broadcast and production company. It's what we do. Play music, pump out some great people. When we are able to. For years we were known bringing in guests, having musicians, having comedians, having other people here. They would sit right there in the peanut gallery. Yep. Somebody would get in the hot seat. Well, they'd get the 15 questions from the hot seat. It was a great time, man. We'd go out on the road. We'd do remote broadcasts. Oh, yeah. We still have meet and greets coming up. I keep reminding people of this because I don't want people to think that we have forgotten or that we're going to let it go. Once we are able to get back on the road, get back to what the show was doing, we will be out. We will be in Jewett City, Connecticut. We have 3 meet and greets for you coming up. All right, here we go. Number 2, Austin Woodward with Adam Griffith. right. Doing the usual, sharing out the show, spreading the smiles, letting people know. If you all out there would be so kind. If you would be so inclined to do so. Spread the smiles. Share this show. All right, that was Darklit. Now, She-Wolf from Golden Braid Productions. CCNC. So what's going on, everybody? What do you got on your agenda? What's your plans for today? I'm gonna get obviously made football game. After that, some work in the main car barn. Looking at our traffic, I'm seeing no incidences, no closures, no delays holding us up this day. So if you need to get out and about, do it. Enjoy this weather for sure. Speaking of the weather, it is 68 degrees already here on the grounds of the compound. You're looking at a high of 74 today. Yep. Humidity at 49% right now. And winds, well, the winds have barely done anything. 2 miles an hour. All right, this is Azazel's Crypt. Azazel's Crypt. Now, that's one of the newer ones here from Golden Braid Productions. Speaking of new, I'm going to jump on over. I'll get some other new stuff for you. One of the new tracks I've been playing is Gabo Lugo, Mike Floss. It's called Candy Floater Enemigos. There you go.
Been dressing, been a president. Put up on that, she look pistol, just a fake, I can see through. She pull up in the
There you go. Candy, Floater, and Amigos. Once again, that was Gabalugo and Mike Floss. All right, here is a little Keenan Trevon. Slide to the left. All right, my previews, everything's looking good over here. I mean, it sounds good to me, but how about you out there? What's up? You say you YouTubers? How about it, Facebookers? Things looking good to everybody? I cleaned off the lenses before. There we go. Again, slide to the left. The artist Keenan Trevon, brand new, acclaimed R&B artist who is based out of Aurora, Colorado. He began seeing success in the late 2018. So go to KEENANTREVON.com. Okay, remember, straight up the top of the hour, 11 o'clock, you get your JC's Power Hour. Back after a couple week little pause of its own. She'll be sitting here, she'll be getting into all sorts, you know the routine. I mean, she's got a lot to talk about. I believe she even has He Who Shall Not Be Mentioned. He Who Shall Not Be Named. Coming up. Let us do, here you go, a little Brent Bourgeois. The bots are winning. The bots are winning. Brent Bourgeois. All right. Gonna hit a little Micolette. Going to R&B and soul. This tune's called Money.
I got my own money. I got my own. I got my own money. So you got my nails done. Okay. So you got my hair did. Okay. Say I ain't acting right. Okay. See, baby, you don't own me. Flashing your new whip. Okay. Booking expensive trips. Okay. Don't know what you expect. Okay. So, baby, you can't buy me. Boy, I can buy what I want. All your fancy things don't impress me. Can you treat me how I want? If not, I'd rather be alone. You can't buy my love. I know you want it, you can look, but don't touch. See, baby, I don't need your money, money, money. I don't need your money, no. You can't buy my love. I know you want it, you can look, but don't touch. Baby, I don't need your money, money, money. I don't need your money, no. Ain't tryna be a bitch, okay? Ain't like them other chicks, okay? Boy, can you handle this, okay? You gotta know just how to treat me. Don't get no free ride, okay? You gotta earn mine, okay? Don't need to waste time, okay?
Okay.
So baby, get to know me. Boy, I can buy what I want. All your fancy things don't impress me. Can you treat me how I want? Ooh, not I'd rather be alone. You can't buy my love. I know you want it, you can look, but don't touch. See, baby, I don't need your money, money, money. I don't need your money, no. You can't buy my love. I know you want it, you can look, but don't touch. Baby, I don't need your money, money, money. I don't need your money, no. I got my own money. I got my own. I got my own money. Oh.
All right. Again, Money. Micolette. Micolette of the Trackheads. Yeah, check her out. Mikalett. Or excuse me, she just has mikalett.com. Wanted to make sure I was saying that right. Now, Mark David Lee, a tune called Baritone Roll. Of course, this song is going to be leading into a little tune that brings in the Little Woman for the Power Hour. Yeah, a little global genius. Scott Dente, Ken Lewis, plaid pants in peril. All right. Here we go. Little global genius. Little plaid pants in peril. Little something something again you've been waiting for. Here, Brutus. There you go, buddy. All right, everybody, like I was saying before, you know you've been waiting. I hope you haven't been holding your breath because, well, we want you here. Yeah, Power Hour, it's back. Now, I'm pretty sure, don't you have a little bit on He Who Shall Not Be Named being named?
No.
All right, everybody. I'll see you all in an hour.
I got plenty to talk about without him. Plenty.
You gotta talk about them.
I don't got to. Where's that rule written?
Part of sports.
I got plenty of other sports. I only got an hour. I can fill that whole hour with everything else. Your breath smells like coffee. we made it to the end of our song. And that snork was from Chase himself, my little co-star. For those who don't know, Chase with the face! You're not Chase with the face, you're Brutus. I mean, let's be real. Ugh. Let me get myself situated here. And I hope everyone is doing well on this SunDaze morning. Yes, this is JC's Power Hour. Did you miss me? You haven't been here for a few weeks. Compounds Concentrates Coffee hasn't been on for a couple of Sundays. You know, life and stuff. But hey, football has gone on and football is going on, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and there's a lot of games going on, and there's a lot of stuff. And I have a lot of friends who like different teams who are not very happy right now. But I still love them anyway. You know why? Because I'm that kind of guy.
Buffalo Bills.
I think he likes Buffalo. I'm not sure.
Number one in the AFC East, baby.
I'll take that over the Patriots. God knows. Goodness knows. But yes, there is so much football to talk about and so much going on. Let's go with a couple. Goodness, there is a bunch of stuff to go over. I mean, especially being that I haven't been here for a couple of weeks. So let's go over some of the big highlights. The Browns have placed Baker Mayfield on reserve COVID list, so they're gonna have. They've been trying to make an impact, and good for them. No, honestly, they've been trying to make an impact, and he's obviously a big part of that. But if there's any what do you call it? If there's any high side to it, the Browns are on bye this week. So if he's on the reserve right now, it is possible that by next week he's okay, that he's cleared. Doop 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 doop. Doo 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 doo. He has not himself tested positive, but he was in close contact with somebody who did test positive. So, you know, the close contact thing, you have to self-isolate for 5 days. You know, obviously being safe, and they'll probably... I would think, today is Sunday, I would think they would test him like Friday or possibly Saturday, but if they can, I think they would want to do it like Friday, because there are the rapid tests to see if he could come back. Otherwise, they're not going to have him for next week against the Texans. So, we'll see how that is. Also related, the Lions quarterback Stafford has been cleared to play. I got a concussion a week and a half ago, and I'm not talking 100% well, so you know, bear with me with all my little blub blub blub. Cracked my head on something, and you know, I'm still a little bleh from it. Yes, that's a technical term. But same type of protocol that Mayfield is just going into, Stafford is now coming out of. So he's been cleared to play. So obviously the Browns are going to be hoping that, you know, next week Baker will be cleared to play. But certainly we don't know until then. Dooka 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 dooka. The Cowboys today are planning to start quarterback Garrett Gilbert, which this is like the Cowboys' fourth string quarterback. Okay, so the quarterback situation in Dallas is not good. I mean, I and many other people, whether you're a Dallas fan or not, I'm actually a fan of Dak Prescott himself, and for him to go out like that with that horrific injury, you know, I think the kid is a really good player, and I think he's a decent guy from everything that we see of him, and for him to go out like that, uh, then of course Andy Dalton got really his bell rung on a really dirty hit, and again it's pissing me off that some of these dirty hits guys are not only not being fined for, but some of these really deserve suspensions. And I say this with absolutely no bias because neither one of these teams is my personal team. Truthfully, both of these teams are rivals against my team, but you know, I'm saying both because I'm thinking of Dalton still on the Bengals, but saying, you know, who the guy who hit him, it's just you can't keep getting away with this, and the NFL can't let people keep getting away with this because these hits on these quarterbacks, I mean, it shows. I mean, literally, the Cowboys are running out of quarterbacks because of injury. I mean, Dak is definitely gone for the year. Dalton is, you know, week to week. And honestly, whether he'd be able to play or not, you know, they're going to have to take into account who they're playing and how much effort. I don't even know if effort's the right word, but I mean, Dallas's season is certainly not going where they want it to go. And now you got to think long term. Prescott should be able to come back. He had successful surgery right away. Dalton's a good quarterback, but he's on the curve of you have to contemplate how many more years you have with him. So now, you know, we're getting a big thing here. We got to be careful. Other highlights. Doop doop boop boop boop. Doop doop boop boop. Boop 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 boop. You know, I suppose I could mention He Who Shall Not Be Named, and just, I'll simply say that he was picked up by Tampa Bay, and he is supposed to start this week. How long he lasts, that's where the money shot is. But other than that, exactly, that's how I feel. I mean, really, that's exactly how I feel. It's like the drama. We don't need no more. Just don't need no more. So let's start getting into. We're at week 9 already. Can you believe week 9? Like 9. 9. We are the official halfway point for the year. Some people have had their buys, some have not. Regardless, Now is basically poop or get off the pot time. I mean, there are a lot of strong teams that just need to maintain what they're doing. And there are some teams with only one or two, or a couple with 3 wins that just simply, if they don't start doing something now, then they're pretty well done. I mean, one of the oddest to me, I mean, really odd, is when you look at the standings, the division standings. Um, the Eagles are in first place with a record of 3 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie. You have a below 500 team in first place. That entire division of the NFC East is just suffering. They are just having so many issues across the board. Whereas, you compare it to right next to them, the NFC West. First place is 6-1, and fourth place is 4-5. Really, with half the season to go, anyone could turn that around. And honestly, the way the entire NFC East has been playing, whichever one gets the bye week, not the bye week, the wild card to get in, which is more than likely what anybody in the NFC East would do. I see them beaten almost instantly by any of the other teams that are going to come in. I would be completely shocked if they won even one playoff game, no matter who comes out of that right now, unless there's like a humongous turnaround by one of those teams. My baby. So, that being said, let's start going through my picks for this week and a couple of highlights and notes for the teams as we go through. Just to make a notation so that, again, that we mention it. The Thursday night game was the Packers and the 49ers. Part of me thinks the 49ers would have had a better shot if the Packers were not so pissed off because they were stunned last week by the Vikings. I mean, there's no other way to put that. I mean, I've been writing for the Vikings this year, and I've been having a hard time trying to write positives, and I really wholeheartedly blame their coaching, because the Vikings have 2 new coaches, defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator, and I don't know whether they're trying to put their own style onto it, whether they're trying to reinvent the wheel, but whatever they're doing, they took everything that was positive from last year and they're just squishing it. That and their defense is very beaten up and letting people run over them, so they're not having the year that they would like. Let's put it that way. I mean, that's the politest way I could say it. But, so, our first game that we will talk about, I did mention some of the teams are just having a really, really hard year, didn't I? Well, this is one of them. The 1-7 New York Giants against the 2-5 football team. Yes, that's their name. Yes, I still hate it. Yes, I cannot stand it. But whatever. I think they deserve to lose if they can't figure out a name for themselves. Um, it's kind of hard to pick a winner basically between Dumb and Dumber, and this is what we have going here. I I I try to give the Giants credit because again, they have talent on the team, but it's almost like they have all the pieces for the chess game, but they're putting them all down in the wrong spots. And so they're just not cohesive. They're just, and honestly, Washington, it's nothing new for them the past few years that they are very sporadic. One week they'll score very well, and the next week they can't buy a field goal. So it's, you know, and there's not much home field advantage to speak of this year, unfortunately. Some people have fans, some people don't. It's a little bit of a help, but it's not a major help anymore. Um, so that being said, I think the Giants might squeak this one out. But again, it's one of those weird games where I could see it ending in a tie. But for the fact of just simply having to pick one, I think if if the Giants protect their quarterback, if they give him time, then I think yes, the Giants could pull it out. But the Giants' offensive line has been the problem for years. It's been the problem since Eli, and they blamed Eli, and now they brought in new blood who obviously has a good arm, and he scrambles more than Eli does. Eli was not a scrambler. He would sit in the pocket until it closed in on him. But you're still not protecting him. And the best scrambling quarterback, if you let him get hit too many times, he's not going to be able to scramble as much. So, you know, that's something that's going to have to be fixed really quick, or you're going to lose the ability to have a scrambling quarterback. So I'm going to take the Giants. It certainly isn't going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be one of those back and forth games, and I think they'll just barely eke out a win just by virtue of having the last score. But I don't see it a blowout on either way. Next game should be a bit more of a brouhaha. We have the 5-3 Chicago Bears against the 5-2 Tennessee Titans. Titans have been playing very strong ball, and almost surprisingly strong in a lot of ways. The Bears are playing strong, but 2 out of the 3 games that they lost, I really feel that they should have won. So they're kind of in that they don't protect their lead as well as they should. I mean, I think that's their weakness. They could put up points, but they can't keep the lead. And if you let the Titans get ahead of you, chipping away at that lead is really difficult because they're like a tidal wave. They ride that high. The more they score, the more they score, type of thing. You know what I mean? So I think this one's gonna be a high scoring game, but I think Titans are gonna come out on top of that one. Hey, remember those Vikings I was talking about? Hey. They are 2-5 right now, which again I find surprising after last year, but there are reasons, and I believe coaching and the defense are the 2 reasons. They can, and they might, be able to ride the high of beating one of their one of, if not their biggest rival. Um, if they just take all the positives from that and discard the rest. But the Lions, in spite of being 3-4, are stronger than. They're another one. They're stronger than a 3-4 team. Their losses have come from mistakes and have come from poor execution, from what I've watched. So the Lions aren't going to roll over for a belly rub by any means. But I'm going to give the Vikings credit that they might have found the accelerator, and they might be able to turn last week's win into another win this week. And if they get 2 wins in a row, they might be on pace to, try to actually salvage the season, maybe get into a wild card. That's big talk, and that's, many ways to go a different way. But that, if I was their coach, that would be my game plan, and that would be the mindset I'd be trying to get the guys into. So we'll see how it plays out in the field today. But we're gonna take the Vikings on there. Next one is one of those I find very hard to say anything other than the Chiefs are going to roll over the Panthers. And I mean, really, I believe that's what it is. That I've said from the jump, Chiefs are going to be in the playoffs, barring something horrible. And they're not. And no team is invincible. And no team can't be beat. But I don't think the Panthers, even though they've been trying to get their stuff together, I don't think the Panthers have it together enough to take on Mahomes and company, because he's not only a great quarterback, but he's a good mental quarterback. He keeps his entire team focused. He could, they could fall behind, and he is going to find a way to motivate them and to get them going. He is just a great all-around leader, and I got a lot of respect for this kid, and he is not an easy guy to beat in any way, shape, or form. The only way to beat him is to put a lot of pressure on him and just not let him throw the ball. And I don't think the Panthers defense is up to that. Maybe for a quarter or so, but I think the Chiefs figure out the Panthers defense very easily and adjust. And I think, the first quarter might be a little quiet, and then they explode in the second quarter and just keep going from there. You heard it here first. Okay. 2 suffering teams, both at 1-6. The Texans and the Jaguars. The Jaguars 1-6 doesn't completely surprise me, because they've been struggling for a while. The Texans 1-6 does surprise me this year. They're not like a 14-2 team, but they're a solid 9-6, 10 and 9-7, 10-6 kind of team. Taking the losses, but always up there. And for them right now to be 1-6 at this point of the game, at this point of the season, really does surprise me. The Steelers have 2 of the Watt brothers. The third is on the Texans. I saw a quote, which I have no proof that it is something he said. I don't know if it's a direct quote, but it was basically saying, that and I've seen him arguing on the sideline that he's sick of losing. And, probably a fan pick or whatever, but I would still love my Steelers to pick him out of the Texans and have all three Watt brothers on our team. If we had all three Watt brothers on our team, I think that would be amazing and a hell of a acquisition. All that being said, in spite of their record, the Texans are stronger than the Jaguars. They are a more physical team than the Jaguars. And I think that physicality should, again, against a 1-6 team, it's not like, oh my God, we're terrific, we beat a 1-6 team, but one of y'all got to win unless it's a tie. And again, kind of wouldn't surprise me if it ended in a tie. But I think the Texans, just with sheer brute strength, I think they'll be the ones to take this. Again, take it with a grain of salt. You're beating somebody who's also 1-6, but when you're 1-6, there's very few places to go but up.
Tiny buff.
Why don't you pick up my tiny buff?
Oh yeah. I got a sweet package.
Ain't you special?
I am.
Next game should be I'm going to call this one, this should be one of the high scoring games of the day. Still looking for my bookie bet of the week. I think I know what it is. But as I was saying, this game, 5-2 Ravens, 5-2 Colts. This is going to be a definite high scoring game. I think it's going to be it's going to be one of those back and forth games where if you walk away from the TV too many times, you're not going to know who the hell's winning because it's just going to go back and forth that much. But after the Ravens lost to the Steelers last week, they are also, like the Packers, they're not happy. They are a strong, unfortunately I have to admit, they are a strong team, and the win that the Steelers got, it didn't come easy, but it was there, and it was wholly due to the Steelers defense keeping the Ravens in check, and Roethlisberger basically being Roethlisberger and calling the plays himself instead of, an offensive coordinator getting in the damn way. Let the man do what he does best. He's got 10,000 years experience, for the love of all that is holy. Anyway. The Ravens last week were held to 24 points, which is kind of low for them. The Colts scored, what'd they score, 41 or something like that? Yeah, 41 against the Lions last week. So this is one of those games where I could see it being, final score like 44-37, something like that. I think both teams are going to air the ball an awful lot. I see pluses on both sides, and I see reasons for both teams to win, to be honest. But at the end of the day, I believe I can fly. No. I believe it's going to be, like I said, a high-scoring game. I think the Colts are going to sneak this one out. I think the Ravens are still, they're angry, but experience level on the Ravens is younger experience, as opposed to when Green Bay gets angry. Aaron Rodgers has a lot of experience and knows how to turn that around. So it's possible, if the Ravens don't jump out to an early safe lead, I think they're gonna get frustrated. I think mentally they're gonna start thinking about last week, and they're gonna make mistakes. I think they don't have the patience that a more experienced team has. And I say team like that the team is full of rookies, but honestly, you're looking at your quarterback for leadership, and as good as he is, his first playoff game, he panicked. There's no other name for it. He did panic on his first playoff game, and I'm not saying that doesn't happen to almost every person who plays. It's part of the experience level. It's part of growing up. It's part of making your way in NFL football. So I think the Colts, I think they're going to keep riding, and I think they're going to squeak this one out. Again, I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way. I'd be surprised if it was. But I think it's going to be close, and I think it's going to be the Colts coming up winners. Next game. The 6-1 Seahawks taking on the 6-2 Buffalo Bills. The Bills right now are really enjoying where they're sitting in their division, with good reason. They're doing very well. The Patriots, who have been dominating that division for quite a while, are now only with 2 wins. And a lot of blame is being aimed at Belichick. I'm not going to cry over that. But I think, and I said this in the off season, as good a quarterback as Cam Newton is, I did not and do not think he's a fit for the Patriots. His style of playing and his just overall style of personality, I don't think fits in with the Patriots, and I think it's showing in their win and loss record. I think he's, I think he would do well somewhere else. That being said, the Seahawks have been a very consistently strong team for quite a while. They're also sitting on top of their division. And honestly, this one I don't think is going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a defensive game. I see a lot of 3-and-outs. I really think I see a lot of turnovers on this one. I think it's going to be a very defensive game. And I think it's honestly going to be the team to walk away with this win is going to be the one who, I mean, honestly, it's with every game, the team that makes the least mistakes comes up the winner. But I think that's what this game is going to rely on, because they both have equal strengths on both offense and defense. So I think mental play is going to come into this game a lot. I think the coaching is going to come into this game a lot. And I don't think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be a close game, but I do think the Bills are going to pull it off. The Seahawks' one loss was on the road. And again, I don't consider home field a huge advantage this year. Except for, like, you know, open stadiums when there's snow on the ground. You know, that type of thing, obviously, is a bit of a factor, especially, say, like, you know, if Buffalo has 4 feet of snow and somebody from, like, Miami comes in and plays, that's a whole different kettle of tuna. But the weather isn't going to be a huge factor this weekend. So, that being said, this, you know, to coin a phrase, this one will be a slobber knocker, and I think the Bills will rise on top of it. But it won't be without, you know, a few bumps and bruises, to be sure. Next game, the 3-4 Denver Broncos against the 2-6 Atlanta Falcons. Now, what can I say about the Atlanta Falcons except for if you go by the lead that they had in the third quarter of games, I think they would be 7-1 right now. The Falcons straight up, and it's not just this year, but it's massively this year. The Falcons seem to forget that football is a 4-quarter game, and the Falcons are just giving back whatever, and they've had some stupidly big leads that they gave back. I mean, going back, what was it, 3 or 4 weeks, when they had a humongous lead on Dallas, and not only let Dallas catch up, but let Dallas get away with that which was a brilliant kick, by the way. I mean, if every guy could do an onside kick like that, they'd be a lot more entertaining, let me tell you. But to give back some of the leads that the Falcons have had, I can't pick them to win any game. And I'm not saying that as an insult to the Broncos, because the Broncos are also, they're a hit or miss kind of team. They come in and they're strong, and then they come in and it looks like they're back in high school. So the Broncos, you don't know who you're getting week to week. But when they turn on all thrusters, they're a strong team, but you don't know which team you're getting in any given week. But even with their inconsistency, I cannot say that the Falcons are going to win, because what is a safe win? What is a safe lead for the Falcons? Because no matter what lead they've had, they've given it back. So, sir. Chase, darling. I love you dearly. I love you dearly. I'm talking football. I'll get to our team, don't worry. Don't worry. We have a 4 o'clock game, that's why I haven't talked about them yet. Relax. Speaking of 4 o'clock, that was the last of the 1 o'clock games. There are 3 of the 4 o'clock, 4:25 games. First one being the 4-3 Las Vegas Raiders. That one still doesn't roll off the tongue either. I still have a problem with that. But the Raiders are still, they're 4-3, and they're playing the Chargers, who are 2-5. I'm not sure which I'm surprised about more. Maybe the Raiders are happy that they finally moved. Maybe The Chargers are just meh this year. But yes, he's on the table. He's on my arms. You're doing kisses.
Look for ways. Hi, buddy. I know you got your bone. You got your toy. I'm gonna get that toy. Oh my god.
Chris Berman doesn't have to put up with this.
No, no, really. Come on.
Chris Berman doesn't have lousy Bills fans in his studio either. Where was it? That being said, the Raiders are actually showing a little bit of their physicality of the Raiders of old, like in the 70s and 80s, when they were just a massively physical team. Of course, back in the 70s, they were physical and, dirty. I mean, they got away with a lot of dirty hits that just simply would not fly nowadays. But they are playing much stronger than the Chargers, and even though they're 4-3, I could still see them. I would still pick them as an outside wild card shot, just because of the strength of how they're playing. So I'm gonna take the Raiders over the Chargers. The Chargers could surprise the Raiders and give them a game, especially in the first half, but they're another one that just doesn't seem to realize, hey, there's 4 quarters. And, they kind of peter out by the end of the game. Next game, my heart attack game. 4:25 on CBS. Yes, I shall be watching and screaming and all that fun stuff. Concussion be damned. My Pittsburgh Steelers are 7-0, the only undefeated team left in the NFL. Yay! We're playing the 2-6 Cowboys. The Cowboys are on their 4th-string quarterback, as I mentioned. Why does this make me nervous? I'll tell you why this makes me nervous. And if you're a real football fan, you know why it makes me nervous too. Strong, dominant teams, sometimes when they have somebody who looks like this on their schedule, think, this will be a piece of cake, and they play down to these teams. There are a zillion reasons why we should not play down to these teams. Number one, a team like this, who's only 2-6, they have very little to look forward to the rest of the season. They've lost 2 of their best quarterbacks. One might come back, at some point in the season. The other one is gone for the season, and it's not 100% that he comes back next year. He should, but nothing is 100% until he's fully healed and rehabbed, and we find that out. Number 2, a team that is struggling like this and having a 2-6 record would love nothing more than to, morally disgrace a 7-0 team. Bring also to the fact that the Cowboys are our biggest non-division rival. We have a history going back years and years and years and years. This is one of the biggest rivalries, and no matter how each of our teams are doing, whether both teams are sucking, whether both teams are heading to the playoffs, whether one is doing good and one is sucking, it does not matter. We play each other the same way that the Steelers play the Ravens, or that the Cowboys, play the I almost said Redskins, can't say Redskins, or that the Cowboys play the Eagles, as a division rival. It's that much of a, we need to beat these guys. We have to beat these guys. This is like, This is who we want to beat no matter what. And let's also remember, fourth string quarterback. He got nothing to lose. He could make a name for himself. He could be like, hey, this is my shot. This is my shot, and I'm going to show you what I could do. So this is one of those times where my confidence level is riding on my coach, on my quarterback, and on my team captains to keep the Steelers' mentality as high as it was playing the Ravens. Because the Ravens was a hard-fought win. Until we have a 30, 40-point lead, don't slack. Never slack. You want to keep winning. You want to keep establishing that we are the team to beat. You have to keep winning. That all of that being said, logically, yes, I'm taking my Steelers. Yes, they should beat the Cowboys with absolutely no problem. I don't like saying that to a lower class. I don't even like saying lower class, to a lower performing team. Because I don't think the Cowboys are lower class. I think they are underperforming. And I've said this quite a few times, especially when before Dak got hurt, they were underperforming. And then Dak got hurt and Dalton came in and like, okay, Dalton knows what he's doing, so maybe they'll win. And then Dalton gets knocked out and then, okay, fuck, now what the hell do we do? So they're not having the best of year. But, again, they got nothing to lose. They would love to upset us and, have that stick in our head for the rest of the season. They would love that. They would love to try to start us on a slide and stuff like that. We have a huge game coming up Thanksgiving night. Well, the return of the Ravens, this time in our stadium. So the Ravens would love nothing better than on Thanksgiving to beat us. So we can't start that slide now. We have to stay up on top where we are. Again, that being said, taking my Steelers. Now, here's my bookie bet of the week. And I can see this one actually happening. I really can. And I don't know why entirely. But the Dolphins are 4-3, which is kind of impressive for how they played the past few years. They're 4-3. They're taking on the Cardinals, who are 5-2. Not surprising. The Cardinals are a good, strong team. I feel that somehow the Dolphins are going to sneak past the Cardinals this week. I don't know why. But I'm making that my bookie bet of the week. And remember, for those of you who don't know, basically the bookie bet of the week is, my old man used to say that if the home team lost, it was a bookie bet. Because there's no reason that the home team should lose. Of course, he usually said that after his team lost, but that's neither here nor there. So, once a week I'll pick a home team that should win with absolutely no problem on paper. And pick that as a bookie bet. And I don't know why, but I think that this week it's going to be the Dolphins. Now remember, my bookie bets aren't always, they aren't something like, hey, go out and make a bet on this team. These are like the 99-1 shot if you're betting on a horse. I mean, they're that kind of game. So don't, spend all your money in one place. Yes, I'm right here. Mwah. Okay. The last game of the day. I think is going to be a really physical game. Sad for me to say, sad for me to have to admit, but Brady is doing well in Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers are 6-2 right now, and the Saints are 5-2. Both teams have what do you call it? All the potential in the world to put a lot of points on the board, and both quarterbacks are veterans with a lot of experience. I think I'm giving this one to the Saints for the reason that all of Drew Brees' experience is with the Saints. Again, not that Brady's not settling in very well with the Buccaneers, and that his I'll be nice buddy Gronkowski came out of retirement to play with him, and he who shall not be named is going to be there for at least this week. If it lasts as long as he who should not be named playing with Brady last time, he'll catch one touchdown tonight and then be gone by tomorrow. He might last longer. You don't know. I mean, how many times can a man come back? I mean, at this point, I think the NFL is letting him back just for nothing else but the free press. I mean, honestly, because every time he comes back, there's talk and there's chit chat and there's disappointment and disregard and all that brouhaha. But I'm giving it to Drew Brees. I think he's going to find a way to come above them. So I'm calling this one for the Saints. I'm going to be honest with the Monday night game. I am incredibly surprised that the NFL didn't flex this game out. Because the Monday night game is like the whole world is watching game, and you have the 2-5 Patriots against the 0-8 Jets. Both teams are struggling. I mean, I'm sure when they made the schedule, they figured this was going to be a bigger game. I mean, sure, it's a division game and whatnot, but right now these two are fighting for last place. They're not fighting for first place, they're fighting for last place in their division. The Jets are trying so hard, and they keep trying and then faltering and trying again and faltering, and it's just very sad. But the Patriots are now giving away games that they should have been winning. And again, I see a lot of strife in and around the Patriots organization. So I'm having a hard time of who to pick with this one. I mean, honestly, it's hard to pick the Jets because they haven't won yet. They've come close to winning a couple of the games. And right now, the Jets' problem is they're not putting the points on the board. I mean, they almost beat the Bills a couple of weeks ago, which would have been mind-boggling because the Bills are playing so much stronger than they are. But right now, the Jets, they have a good defense because they keep other teams in check, but they're not putting the points up on the board. when the Jets played the Bills and when they played a couple of other teams, that they kept it so close, they're only scoring field goals. And that is frustrating as hell. Believe me, I've gone through it with my Steelers. It is frustrating as hell. Because if one of the games, I think they had 4 or 5 field goals. If even 2 of those were touchdowns, they would have won. They're not converting the third downs. They are not putting the bigger points. I mean, sure, we all score field goals here and there, especially if you're going for like a 47-yarder and like, screw it, let's just go for the points. But when they get down in the red zone and they have to settle for a field goal, that's what's beating them more than anything. And it's very, very frustrating. It's very frustrating to Jets fans, and it's very frustrating to watch it as a sports fan, because you see what they're doing wrong, and it's like, oh my God, just fix this, and they're having a problem with it. So I'm gonna take the Jets over the Patriots, because I think the Jets defense is gonna keep them staggered. But the Jets have to score in the red zone and have to get those third downs, or they're going to be 0-9.
Choose the 0-8 Jets over somebody.
Yes.
All right.
As I said, I see the potential there. Their defense is strong. They're not, but their offense is leaving.
On other years, honestly, I would agree with you. But at the 0-8 point that they are, they really have been letting. And you watch it, you can see it. They have been letting themselves defeat themselves.
Right.
You know, and instead of concentrating on the game and the people and what's at hand, they're more focused on these losses.
That's a coaching problem.
Well, it's again, it's something that everybody has gone through. If you are a true fan, if you follow a team and you truly pay attention.
Oh yeah, I said
Yeah.
I know what they're going through, because
Sure.
the Steelers have gone through it.
Sure. 3-13. Woohoo! I mean,
See,
that's literally what I said through that.
See,
whole
the
season.
exit is being blocked, so I'll get backed in the head if I make a comment that, since I've had Tomlin, I've never had a below 500 season. But again, that's coaching, and I'm confident. One of the things I've said, and the Jets have been guilty, not as guilty as other teams, but you have to pick a coach, and you know this as well as I do, and you have to stay with them.
Well, sure I do, and I also remember the way you are right now with what's his name. I'll let you say it again. You were the same way when you had Cowher,
Yes.
and you were saying the same things.
Yes.
So
I am very proud of my team that we've gone through. We've only had 3 coaches in like 6
oh
years.
no, I'm not saying that. Absolutely. I mean, gosh, we know some teams.
The Browns.
I was just going to say, we could say some names.
15 years, they've had 12 coaches in
I was
15
to say,
years.
no, it wasn't 13. It was 12, yeah. Who all of a sudden, again, this year, who the hell are the Browns?
Yeah, but I don't know if you heard at the beginning, Mayfield's on COVID protocol.
Oh, I know.
They have their bye this week, so they might squeak it out, and he might be able to come in next week, but it depends on how his test goes.
Mhm.
He didn't test positive, but he was around somebody who did.
Right, and I mean, better to be safe than
No,
sorry.
of course. Especially, close quarters and
Sure.
whatever.
What's up, everybody? How we doing out there? Hopefully you're having a good one. Hopefully you've had a good one. Kicking back, chilling, chatting, relaxing with the little woman. YouTubers, Facebookers, of course, again, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all the places in which CC&C is at. I'm just going to get right into music, and I've got a trivia wheel. You got your thinking hats nearby? Because we have 1 hour left. I mean, it's 1 p.m. I'm out of here. So we're going to jump right into trivia. Let's see. Over to here. Let me select this. Let me go to there. I had a request for a little blues. Sure. Let's get going, says Trout Recording. How's that? Perfect timing. So, the 2010 film, The Social Network, a biographical drama film about MySpace founder Tom Anderson? True or false? Actually going easy on your brains today. By the way, of course, good afternoon. Since it is 12:07, make sure you're getting packed, rolled, and ready to go. You got a 20 coming up on you, don't you know? Time's gonna fly. We're gonna be at 1 o'clock before you know it. All right, wrapping up that track, wrapping up the question, and of course I was looking for the answer of false. Let's go for a long ride. A little more blues. Now, its first rule, which you don't talk about, is a reference to what? Yeah, there you go, YouTubers. Fight Club, of course. How we doing out there? So, the wheel is coming to a stop right now. What was the first Disney film? I'll even give you a hint. Its first fully animated feature film. Good job, YouTubers, once again. Yes, that would be in 1937. It was Walt Disney's animation studio releasing the very first fully animated feature film, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Yeah. All right. Tell me the individual who starred in the 1973 movie Enter the Dragon. Yeah, that's right. Bruce Lee, indeed. Oh, yes. Yeah, I didn't realize that was 1973, though. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, August 19th of 1973. That movie had a box office of $350 million. Man. All right, letting this track finish out. We're literally right here. All right, Jamie Stone and David Travers Smith coming up with See That My Grave Is Kept Clean. All right, anybody here see the movie Blade Runner? I have it on video disc. Well, in that movie, what is the term that's used for human-like androids? They're virtually identical to adult humans, but with superior strength, speed, agility, resilience, intelligence. All to varying degrees, of course. All right, I'm getting responses, man. Good try on Facebook side, but that's not what I'm looking for. You know, they're using the same term, the bioengineered being from both 1982's original movie and the 2017 sequel, which was Blade Runner 2049. Now, what I'm looking for here, replicants. Replicants. Yeah. Okay. What movie dethroned Avatar as the highest grossing film in history in 2019? All right, we're coming up towards the end of this track already. Once again, you're listening to See That My Grave Is Kept Clean from Jamie Stone and David Travers Smith. Now, the question I had asked was what film dethroned Avatar as the highest grossing film in history in 2019. Yeah, what I was looking for was actually Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame. All right. Nico Fuzz, Barbasauce, Little More Blues. This tune's called Rinse Repeat. What Marvel superhero did Chris Evans play before his role as Captain America? Absolutely. Flame Boy. I know what you're talking about, so yes. It was Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. That is correct, Facebookers. All right, here we go. That wheel's spinning. We'll have another question in just a second. What is the loudest animal on Earth? Now, I'll even break it down for you. I'm not looking for anything on land. I'm talking about in the water. Ooh, wrapping up that track. Yeah, that was Nico Fuzz. That was Barbasauce with a tune called Rinse Repeat. You're here on CC&C, Compound Concentrates and Coffee Radio, during Trivia Challenge. Once again, I had given you a question, looking for the loudest animal on Earth. And I even gave you a hint. I'm not talking about a land creature. I'm talking about in water. Now, I'll give you another hint. I'm not talking the blue whale. No, not a land creature. Well, I said loudest animal, not mammal. And I specified not on land, in the water. Believe it or not, what I'm looking for comes in with a recorded decibel level of 230 decibels. Underwater. Yeah, the sperm whale. Yep. sperm whale actually louder than a blue whale because their clicks have been recorded at 230 decibels. That's crazy. That's crazy. Man. Okay, here's something we have recently talked about. Not really close, but recently. So I'll be curious to see who retained. What is the nickname for a baby owl? I agree. They're pretty amazing, honestly. They are pretty amazing. All right, we are done with that track, which means we're done with that question. So give me 1 second here. Baby owls. No, they're called an owlet. Owlets. An owlet. Yeah. All right, let me grab us another one here. I have that wheel spinning, so I have us another track coming. One more in our blues block. This is called Stoop Sail. Comes to you again from the artist Trout Recording. Well, see, I often say, even if you don't know something, maybe you learn a thing or two here. I try to learn something every day. You know? Kind of like here. What's the only kind of parrot that can't fly? The world's only flightless parrot. Absolutely, I play a lot of jazz too. I'll get some on for you, no problem. That's all good, once again. Yeah, the world's only flightless parrot, called a Kakapoo. Kakapos. Yeah. Let's see. It's also called an owl parrot, a species of large, flightless, nocturnal, ground-dwelling parrots. They're from New Zealand. They have a lifespan of 95 years on average. Wow. Again, that was called Stoop Sale. Trot Recording, wrapping up your blues block. All right. Secret Agent 23 Skidoo getting into some jazz here for you. Tune called Irish Wristwatch. All right. If you are colorblind, you have an issue distinguishing certain colors. What colors would you have a problem seeing? There's 4 colors that you would have a problem with. I'll take just 2 out of the 4. All right. Well, I was looking for either blue and yellow, or you could have given me red and green. There you go. That's right. Facebookers got it on the board. You get your point. Absolutely. Absolutely. You posted it while I was talking about it, so you are given the credit. So, nice try, YouTubers. Nice try, but Facebookers did get it. Yeah. I was over there checking our music off. Once again, Secret Agent 23 Skidoo. Now, how about a little Brent Bourgeois? And we're going to do a little Emmy Phelps and Daryl Anger. Here we go. This is called Mozambique. that's what we tell people all the time. Even if you don't know, just take a guess. I mean, worst case, you're wrong. But you'd be surprised how many times we've had people on both Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and they're like, that was right? Oh my God, I pulled that one out of my ass. Hey, that's cool. Yeah, that's all good. All right. What are people with electrophobia afraid of? Well, I don't blame you for that guess, but that's incorrect. Think feathered friends, but not a duck. Ooh, wrapping up that track. Let me go on down. Once again, what you heard there was called Mozambique. Believe it or not, it's individuals who have a fear of chickens. Chickens. Yep. All right. Gonna go with some Old West from Brian Wifecombe. How fast does the Earth spin? Well, okay, as we all know, it rotates once every 23, 24 hours, right? Well, it breaks down that the surface of the Earth at the equator moves at a speed of 460 meters per second. Or roughly how many miles per hour? That's what I'm looking for. I just like. That was alright. Well, this track is right at the end, so we're wrapping up this question, too. Well, the Earth spins roughly at about 1,000 miles an hour. Yep, 1,000 miles an hour. Also, bless him, Alex Trebek passed at 80 after battling pancreatic cancer. Yeah. All right, Angela Moore, Dig Infinity, little greedy two humps.
It was a hot summer's day in the middle of the Sahara. All the tribes was packing up to head out yonder, to hang out in a spot that wasn't as hot
Alrighty.
as the last.
Who can tell me the name of the French entertainer, activist, and even secret agent who had a pet cheetah named Chiquita?
With H2O for the single humps, for the long trip ahead over the vast trial. But old greedy two humps was a gluttonous llama, while everybody slumbered pre-exodus. Overweight her humps with precious water, survival goods, make a stand, made her sink into the. Now cruise control is how the camels rolled across the sandy sea. But greedy G was loaded down heavy, wobbly at the knee.
Good guess, but no, that's not what I'm looking for.
Greedy two humps.
No, this individual owning Chiquita would wear a diamond collar while this person did performances on stage. Now, sometimes Chiquita would jump off the stage into the orchestra pit, causing quite a commotion. I was looking for Josephine Baker. Josephine Baker.
Now slowly but surely, old greedy two humps, who had taken up the slack, had fell into a slump. With the sun relentless and hot on her back, her distance receded, and she
All right, what is the capital of Paraguay?
One two hump camels who travel light, left two humps behind, clear out of sight. Her greedy two humps, filled and heavy as lead. The herd had moved on, and she was left for dead. The cackles of jackals that bore a faint sound.
Right now we got Facebook on the board with 2, YouTube on the board with 3.
And hyena laughter.
Again, I am looking for the capital of Paraguay.
But now closing in on two humps behind. The buzzes that circle began to descend. On two humps the llama.
I'm getting answers, not getting what I'm looking for.
She became the feed for those in need. Survival goods, made a stand, made her sink into the blind.
Angelo Moore, Dig Infinity, little greedy two humps. That wraps up, so does the question. I was looking for Assumption. Asuncion. Yeah, in Spanish, Assumption means ascension or assumption. One last one in the jazz block, serving up a little Carnival coffee from the Poison Oaks. All right, back in 2005, the singer staged a comeback with the Emancipation of Mimi. It was the second best-selling album worldwide. Who am I referring to? The Emancipation of Mimi. No, 2005. Come on now. All right. This singer staging the comeback with the Emancipation of Mimi. Second best-selling album worldwide came from Mariah Carey. Wrapping up that track again called Carnival Coffee from the Poison Oaks. Now I'm going to feature a track with George Lynch and Heavy Gravel Guild. This tune is called Rome. This track will basically be taking me into Echopraxia, Austin Woodward, and then where I get off, because I'm out of here at 1 o'clock. All right, who put out the perfume Light Blue? me. All right, well, that track is done, so is that question. Now, was looking for and had asked the question, who put out the perfume Light Blue? It's a signature fragrance inspired by Sicily, taking over 2 years to perfect, coming out by and from Dolce Gabbana. Let's see.
I'll be back.
Where are you guys off to?
Just going.
Running to the store really quick before football.
I need a memory card because I'm playing Zelda without a memory card. I'm
But
in the
wait.
forest temple.
Yeah, she's gone way too far to lose it now.
I'm actually in the forest
Have you?
temple. Even though I'm confused right now because I don't know where to go, I'm getting far.
You'll get there.
Pretty good.
Chase, go. Booted you twice.
All right.
Love you.
Love you too. I'm looking for the oldest continuously inhabited city in the world. Excuse me. All right, I'm getting responses. Good guesses, good guesses. Not what I'm looking for, though. Yeah, Egypt is in there, but not what I'm looking for. That's at number 10. Greece is in there with Athens, but they are at number 5. Well, again, I'm getting answers. I'm not getting what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is a city in Syria. It's called Aleppo. 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 It's Aleppo, then Beirut, West Bank, Jericho, Greece, Bulgaria, Lebanon, Egypt. All right, this is Daytona coming to you from Austin Woodward and Adam Griffith. Okay, Humphrey Bogart won an Oscar, his only Oscar, for what motion picture? And no, it's not Casablanca. Most celebrated performance after Casablanca came in this 1951 film. What film am I referring to? Ooh, I was looking for The African Queen. Yeah. That film also starring Hollywood's megastar, of course, Katharine Hepburn. Now, last track. I am out of here when this song is done. So thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. I am the Connecticut Medical Marijuana Critic. This has been Compound Concentrates and Coffee, your SunDaze edition. Well, this is where I get off. Comes to you from Cy Coonan, the frontman, that lead singer of The Fix. You hear that band on your FM dial. You hear them on satellite. Hell, they were here in Connecticut at the end of 2019 on tour. So, just doing our solos, doing his solo stuff and taking us out. This is where I get off.
Nobody's better than me, 'cause I know better than them. Big shot, Cajon, won't run. He
My pleasure. Thank you for being here. I will see one and all tomorrow, of course.
gonna find the burning bush. Set my people free. Set my people free. Send an army of the country. Set my people free. This is where I get off. This is my stop. Where I get off. This is my stop. Nobody's better than me, 'cause I'm no better than them. Big shot, Cajon, won't run down an army.
All right, everybody, again, you be good. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday here. It is absolutely gorgeous out there. You are currently looking at 74 degrees right now in Orange, Connecticut. Humidity at 37%. Winds 5 miles an hour. Very calm, very nice. Oh, yeah, man. Go out there, enjoy. I'll see you all tomorrow. Remember, Mondays I start at 8:20-ish. I will see you all then. Peace, much love, and respect.